Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Creating Solutions for Small Business session at the APAC Engage. I'm just going to flick to a mandatory legal disclaimer slide that we present at the beginning of each of our sessions. Just flick through that. And just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Yasamine, and I am the APAC New Business Manager here at Smartsheet. In my role, I'm fortunate enough to work with many of our customers and have the opportunity to be bringing on our first guest speaker that you'll be hearing from today. I'm very pleased to introduce Jasmine Romick, Managing Director and co-founder of Quiddity, an accounting and financial services small business that offers a new approach to financial management. Jasmine wears two hats when it comes to Smartsheet, not only using it at Quiddity, but also to build out solutions for her customers. Today, Jasmine is going to give you a glimpse into a client lifecycle solution she built out for Quiddity to maintain a quality client experience while scaling a business, followed by an example of two solutions she has built out for her customers, including using Smartsheet to help a client with executing a debtor strategy and helping a startup business with their end-to-end operations. I'm really looking forward to hearing from Jasmine today, and we're very fortunate to have her here with us. So without further ado, let's move right into it. Jasmine, over to you.
Hi, everyone. As Yasmin shared, I'm a co-founder and managing director of Quiddity, where we work with small and medium companies as their finance or accounts team. So by way of background, my sister and I started Quiddity in 2012, and we made a commitment to have fun. And part of that uncovered a passion for agile technology, and we set about innovating and automating everything that we could. As CFOs, we were also keen to scale profitably. I've personally used and loved Smartsheet since 2013. Over the years, we've added tools like Data Mesh, Pivot, Calendar, Sites, and Dynamic View. These tools have turned ordinary industry challenges into competitive advantages. Smartsheet has actually shaped the way that we operate as an organization and also the way that we interact with our clients. My hope for today is to share some new ideas and hopefully inspire you to go away and experiment with new and different ways that you can use Smartsheet. Because from our experience, we found that with Smartsheet, you're really only limited by your imagination. So as mentioned, today I'll be presenting 3 different ways that we've used Smartsheet with other apps to create solutions. We found that creating solutions by integrating Smartsheet with other affordable off-the-shelf apps prevents the need to be locked into expensive and inflexible ERPs. We truly value quick solutions that we can create ourselves. So I'll start with the first case study, which is an internal Smartsheet client lifecycle solution that we're still excitedly building on. So we needed this solution because of the challenges we faced maintaining quality while we scaled. Our industry involves managing a high volume of recurring tasks, scopes, and people, and this can lead to inconsistencies in service and the creation of silos, particularly between different delivery teams. There's a lot of information to transfer between departments and clients, and there are many work transitions to coordinate. As people inevitably move on, there's always that risk of knowledge being lost. While managing capacity was a bit of a sink or swim best guess approach, and making sure that work was completed well and profitably was another challenge. To share an analogy, we have a situation where there are a lot of great chefs cooking without recipes, and we want to be like McDonald's. Ultimately, we needed a solution that relied more on systems rather than on the individual diligence of team members. I'll now share a series of slides to highlight how our Smartsheet solution works across each department. So for the sake of orientation, this is the master scope document. Now imagine that it contains everything that we need to manage the full client lifecycle. It's designed for the information to flow through each of the zones so that each department can piggyback off the information from the previous department while adding to it. The departments I'm referring to include sales, client onboarding, operations and delivery, and quality management. This template also has a workflow automation to create recurring tasks for everything that needs to be done. This leaves nothing to chance. Starting at the beginning of the cycle, when sales are creating a proposal and we need them to be consistent and accurate, they can isolate only the columns from the template that the sales team need to complete. Now, as a salesperson myself, I know that we can be procedure resistant, so we included conditional formatting. Now, this acts as a visual cue. So when a line item is included, it turns all of the fields that need to be completed red, and they only go back to green once the data is filled in. This promotes accuracy and is an efficient way to ensure a complete transfer of information, and it definitely removes the need for double handling and mistakes. Client onboarding then use this information to complete an induction checklist. They also establish best practice and complete all process documentation. This is made easier because the template includes the Google Doc links that are shown in blue font, which act as a placeholder for all the current and future information related to that task. By updating the actual Google Doc, it will update all the information across each of the client scopes. This eliminates the need for document version control and searching for the latest version, particularly when you're in a rush. Organising documentation in this way assists with the consistency and quality across the board. Another key part of inducting a client involves collecting information from them. Here we use Smartsheet Dynamic View, and it acts as a controlled access-like portal where the clients can comment and upload information, and we can control exactly what they see. This definitely sets a positive tone for what the client can expect in terms of innovation, and it reduces the risk of missed information that's sitting in somebody's email. Meanwhile, operations receives an alert for a new project scope. They also access and isolate the sections that they need to work on. Their role is to assign the team based on actual availability. We can now do this without guessing because everything, including internal work, is allocated and assigned in Smartsheet. Operations also provide delivery instructions with quick hyperlinks. This is shown in the last column. This is designed to solve the future problem of staff transitions, for example, when there's leave, when there are promotions, and it also supports new people in training and helps to maintain quality. Focusing on delivering quality goes a long way in extending the lifetime value of a client. Managing the daily tasks is important to quality, and this Smartsheet solution manages the automatic creation of all tasks. The tasks are shared by assignee, and they can be filtered based on how the employee prefers to work, whether it be by due date, task, or by client. An added benefit is that managers now have visibility and upcoming work can be caught before it falls overdue. There are some additional benefits if you're in a professional services game and you track time and need it to be accurate, then you can offer the guidance of where the task time needs to be booked directly from the sheet. There's also the benefit of sharing what the targeted task time is. This helps to set up expectations really early on. Another area that needs to be managed are scope changes. The team won't rely on memory, so the scopes will always be updated. Once they're updated, sales and operations are alerted and they can review just to make sure that everything is tracking well. This acts as a bit of a checkmate to keep the scope accurate. Finally, using Smartsheet sites, we end up with a capacity management dashboard. There's a lot of information here, but essentially it combines the information in Smartsheet with information from external sources. And it gives us everything that we need, all the insights to manage everything productively and profitably. Ultimately, your business requirements will be different, but it's more about the methodology. It's about using Smartsheet to focus on quality, scaling, reducing risk, and standardizing operations. Smartsheet's flexibility definitely creates a space for creativity. And this flexibility is also highlighted in the next case study. The second case study relates to a Smartsheet data management platform, which actually became a critical collaborative tool, particularly during COVID. So the challenge here related to credit risk and cash flow issues, as well as executing a data strategy. This business has a high transaction volume and uses very old software. There's no oversight for accountability or a way to track collection progress. There was a heavy reliance on reactive calls, chasing for payment right at the end. It was a bit like playing one goalkeeper up against a whole team. What we really needed was a strategy to prevent data issues right from the beginning and all the way through the cycle. This was definitely a team effort, working very closely with the client, but we were able to establish that good data management involves firstly making the calls, but also a good strategy, but most importantly, a system that can execute this at scale, and this was Smartsheet. This Smartsheet solution uses many of the additional tools I mentioned previously. It promotes proactivity by catching debts at many milestones, because we can put customers on soft hold and hard credit stop and manage this. We can also manage converting customers to direct debit, as well as failed payments. It definitely facilitates organisation because we're able to allocate specific customers to specific people in order to maintain and build rapport. There's an accountability that's built in with live tracking of the number of calls that are made, the emails that are sent, all based on the individual. Grouping the debts into statuses like urgent follow-up required and customers on hard stop lets the team know exactly what they need to do because it's all documented at each stage. This information allows us to analyse these statuses, and it gives us a better understanding of customer behaviour and credit risk. And with Smartsheet's agility, we can quickly make changes as new information comes to light and improve the system. Most importantly, our performance can now be measured based on money in the bank and not on hours spent calling. The management dashboard with escalation lists enables identifying, sharing, and tracking of management escalations for when senior level big guns are needed to step in. And this is without losing track of the escalation, without it getting lost in somebody's email. The CEO now has visibility on all critical aspects, and this visibility promotes good outcomes because it ensures that escalations are handled quickly. Another feature that we found really helpful was the ability to manage customer objections while we were making calls. We handle open credit requests and queries in Smartsheet, and we resolve 90% of them in 24 hours. So when a customer is saying they don't want to pay because there's an outstanding credit, we can quickly pull this information up and proactively manage that objection on the spot. The quality dashboards ensure that the plan is executed, and it promotes consistency. And data management is all about the small things done consistently. The complexity of all the little requirements just can't be handled in individual Excel sheets. Getting people off Excel and email wasn't a problem at all. The benefits sold themselves. And being able to add features like guidance boxes and individual user dashboards has made the solution even more user-friendly and has helped drive adoption across all teams and all users. The AR overview dashboard, by providing complete transparency and allowing us to identify escalations early and to work with our client closely, we've been able to set and track targets and evolve the process quickly. This coordinated effort has been important, and Smartsheet is the enabler of this collaboration. Now, given we all work from remote corners of the world, Smartsheet's role here has been critical. In terms of the impact of the solution, the collection results have been exceptional, with only 1% to 2% of debts rolling over at month end, and an inspiring reduction in actual bad debts. Now I'm moving on to the final solution, which is an end-to-end Smartsheet Operations solution for a startup, and it also focuses on collaboration. This company was an industry disruptor, leasing short-term assets. The business model was complex, with logistics to coordinate across multiple states. The company was funded, but there was no allocation for custom software to be built. We tested a whole host of off-the-shelf solutions, and we found nothing that could meet the specific needs and be flexible enough. As the CFO and accounts team, we needed to bridge the gap between operations and finance and to not be in a position where we're chasing a busy operations team. We needed information in real time that could help us do the invoicing, pay the contractors, track leases, and passive revenue. On the other hand, the client needed to deal with inducting, changing contractors, organising and scheduling jobs and those contractors, as well as tracking asset, location, and availability. This Smartsheet solution starts in sales and Pipedrive, which is a CRM. It's integrated, it's actually integrated with Smartsheet via an app called Zapier, which is an app connector. Now we created, let's call it a button or stage in Pipedrive. And as you can see, there's a send to Smartsheet highlighted there. We put the power of requesting an installation, a removal, or a contract extension in the hands of the sales team who were on the front line. So once they selected the stage, there was an automatic line created in Smartsheet with all of the information that was required for the job. This then triggered a set of task lists for each stage of the job prep, and the jobs moved through each department in Smartsheet like a factory process line. Smartsheet features like exception reports, alerts, and send update requests act as a control to promote diligence. This is important because diligence is required at each of the stages of scheduling, allocating resources, organising contractors, and prepping assets, or the whole job falls apart. So once the job is prepped and ready to go, the installation contractors receive job instructions with pictures via send update and reports. Assets are tracked by integrating AppSheet, which is an app creator for non-programmers, with Smartsheet. At the time, it cost about $20. An inspired team member with no experience actually created this app, and it can track the GPS location of assets on smartphones. It also includes additional features like adding photos into Smartsheet, Google address validation, and most importantly, contractors can be emailed the app link, bookmark it to their phone, and be ready in 5 minutes without a long induction process. There were also conditional quality checklists and electronic signatures. After the job is logged and in the app by the contractor and closed in Smartsheet, the contractor PO and invoice is automatically created in Xero, which is an accounting software, again via Zapier. So this completes the cycle, but there are so many more benefits that come as a byproduct because of Smartsheet features. I'll briefly share a series of slides now. So job calendars for visual scheduling support, utilization calendars for forecasting and planning, live maps to coordinate the shortest routes for removals and installs. These are the photos uploaded by AppSheet. The preview enables quick verification and quality checks. In this instance, with the asset availability reports, the color coding helps the operations team make good financial decisions, for example, by identifying and moving the least profit-generating assets to a higher generating space because it's calculating daily revenue less running costs in Smartsheet. This also helps to quickly assess contract status. Exception reports to maintain quality by confirming that everyone is doing their part correctly and on time. And finally, real-time visibility. Due to time, I can't show you everything that this solution included, but essentially this was a startup that started very simply and evolved, and the system just grew. And with Smartsheet's capabilities, even when we believed we couldn't, we were able to continue to add on and solve the problems that were presented. This solution really worked. We've had 100% success rate with tracking assets. This was the first time we worked with Smartsheet. You don't need to be an expert because the power of Smartsheet really is only limited by imagination. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Jasmine. That was fantastic. It's so great to see all the different ways that your business is using Smartsheet to solve business problems, not only through the lens of your own business, but through your customers as well. I'm sure a lot of our small business folks on the call today would have taken many tips away from what you've shared. So thank you again. But now it's time for our Q&A, and we have a few questions for you.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So as the CEO of your business, Jasmine, how did you lead the charge with adoption for your employees and customers using Smartsheet? Was there any pushback on adoption and getting deeper knowledge of the tool? And do you really have any other advice for business owners that may be just beginning their rollout of their of Smartsheet and the solution that they've purchased?
Well, taking the time first to understand Smartsheet and the capabilities myself was important. Then I was able to excitedly share all of the possibilities. Now, our team is naturally innovative, so it wasn't long before they embraced it and were creating solutions to everyday problems. It was truly amazing. In terms of our clients, I think that when something serves your interest, it's very easy to not object. I think that the fact that they don't need to sign up to be able to collaborate is a really great benefit. Although we have had many clients who, after working with us on Smartsheet, have signed up and use it across their whole business. In terms of any pushback, I can honestly say that it's actually really been adopted well. And if you're a brand new user and you're thinking about starting, all I can say is just jump in and really start to watch the webinars, have a look at Google. There's answers to everything that you could possibly need if you hit a wall. You can start simply. If you're using paper forms, there's an opportunity to convert all of them using web forms. This will eliminate duplicate effort and just make you really efficient. Once you start, you'll realize that it's all really intuitive and there's really not much that you can break.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the work that your team has created in Smartsheet, and it's completely blown me away. Some of the templates that they've built and the work they've done. So I can personally vouch for that. My second question for you is: it looks like you're leveraging a lot of the features in terms of the solutions that you set up for your customers, like reports, dashboards for real-time tracking. What would you say is your favorite feature of Smartsheet, and why? And what do you think is next for Quiddity? And what are you looking to implement in the future?
Yeah, I think I love all of them, so it's very difficult to pick. But I have to say that I love the conditional logic web forms. As a starting point, being able to collect information and get it right the first time so that you're not going back and forth on email clarifying things is really powerful. And in addition, we use the forms across the business for everything that we do. We have links on our intranet, and the team can share wins, suggestions, issues. They were particularly beneficial when we were planning for working from home during COVID. We were able to execute everything we needed for our OH&S requirements and also work on it to ensure that there was engagement while people were working from home. What's next? We're really interested in Control Center at the moment. We're looking at that because it's a way that we can manage the end-to-end client lifecycle, but also have the flexibility to update the templates across the board without having to go in individually. And it gives us the ability to automate some of the setup process, which is really good. The reason why we're looking at this is we would also like to build an employee life cycle as well and connect them. And that would mean that a manager would be able to manage more clients and a larger team and do it really well. And this obviously has a financial benefit. And also it can standardize the way that we manage so that everybody is getting a good experience. And then the great managers can help us improve the Smartsheet solution.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like creating that standardization will really help your business scale and grow. So that sounds awesome. Lastly, if you had one piece of advice, for other small business owners in the small business community who have tuned in today, in regards to Smartsheet, what would that be?
I think if, as a business owner, if you do want to get to a stage one day that you can leave your business and that it can operate without you, then you definitely need to look at Smartsheet and look at reducing your risk and standardizing your operations and making sure that there's visibility that makes you comfortable enough to be able to, take a break or leave things to other people. It truly is a powerful tool.
Awesome. Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine. That's all we have time for today. On behalf of Smartsheet, I'd like to say a big thank you again for being a part of our event today and providing that insight. I'm sure everyone who tuned into the session has taken something away from hearing your story. And once again, it's super impressive to see what you've achieved, and I'm really excited to continue to work together. So thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
So guys, just a reminder to check out our Learning Center if you haven't already. And also we encourage you to interact with the community, our Smartsheet community, or even think about becoming Smartsheet certified. So just wanted to remind you guys of that as well. And that brings us to the end of the session. Next up on the agenda is the chance to watch a 15-minute demo of your choice, which you can select from the sessions area. There are 8 to choose from. And then after that, we'll see you for our closing segment, which you won't want to miss, including all of our exciting product announcements. Thanks again, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the event.